for Naeto World magazine, keeping it 100.
Hello everyone, hi Naeto World. You're speaking to your girl Gavinci Macheda. Tell me about like how you started out, with your days and doing jingles at Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like how was it like for you, like starting out?
I was a kid, you know what I mean? Originally I was just doing research really. Getting into hip hop is more like a fun thing. You're just messing around, you're hanging out with friends and you listen to hip hop music, you get into hip hop music. You want to try rapping because rapping seems like a cool thing when you listen to it. It's like, wow, this Busta Rhymes guy can do this, you know? But then, as you go, you start realizing some people do it professionally, some people do it regularly, some people are in the industry, and they're all around you. So originally when I was at YFM and I was at Rage, I was there just, doing a job shadow because I wanted to do sound engineering actually.
Oh, right, like me.
Pretty much. Yeah. I wasn't as light skinned though. But I wanted to do sound engineering because I wanted to record myself, I wanted to make music, I wanted to have my own stuff. And so I did a bit of research, and so I went to YFM. They found out I could rap, and Pro just asked me to do jingles one day. He just asked me to do the jingles because he didn't do them anymore. In this business, every now and then, a moment like that comes. Back then it was like a jingle on YFM was like big, and then there was like a song with Pro, it's like big, and then it's like a song with Doomy, it's like big, and then there's a song with Sci-Hi, that's big, opening for Timberland, Nas, it's
So
big. It's just every step is just
okay.
big.
So with that said, like, what do you think is your next? What do you want to still achieve?
What do I still want to achieve? I guess when everybody starts, man, they see themselves on the international stage. I still have to achieve that. I still need to fully explore my international greatness. I still have the continents to explore. I still have the world, man. You know what I mean? I still have the world. I still have a lot of places where reason still has to reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think there's a lot of growth that still needs to happen outside of South Africa.
Okay. So like, I've been to clubs and stuff.
Wait, man,
and
yeah.
Yeah. Psh. And then
Clubs once.
and then like, how is it like?
I'm in the club.
Yeah.
You're
No.
in the club.
No.
Oh, you're just in the
Yeah.
club. Oh,
Just
okay.
like me, and then I see like these chicks getting all like thirsty for the rest of it, and they're like, come and touch me. Oh, reason. Oh.
Is that really what they say?
No, but like.
How
but,
do you know?
Hey.
You've been one of those girls?
No, I've spoken to them.
Okay.
So like, how do you deal with, because we know that you're like married now and you have like a whole family to deal with. How do you handle all of that?
You handle it like you handle any, sort of temptation in the world. You know what I mean?
Does it
in
get
this
difficult
industry,
for you, like?
I think anything that you come across that you don't want to experience or that you don't want to go through that comes at you is always difficult. You know what I mean? It could be a girl, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be driving while drunk, it could be anything. So many different things come at you. So I think it's not like the one single thing. You actually have to approach it and you have to go through it. You know what I mean? And fuck, we don't always succeed. Sometimes we fall for the trap. Sometimes we get into the mess, and sometimes we get into trouble. You know what I mean? But this is life. You know what I mean? And I think we're experiencing it as best as possible. When it comes to situations like that, I think that's where you actually have to be human. You know what I mean? You have to have your values. You have to have your principles. You have to have your learnings. Your understanding of the world. You know what I mean? A lot of them are instant gratification.
I run this town now.
You go with it. You know what I mean? You go with it and you make decisions and you survive. But it's never easy. It's never easy. It's a very difficult thing.
Like, speaking about messes, I think, nowadays with the hip hop game, like all of these beefs that are coming up, I think it's really just a marketing scheme. Like, you know, like when they go home, they just sit back and watch the TV and they're like, haha, yeah, chill beef. Woo. So like, what is your take on beef, like, with other rappers? Like, how is it? What do you think about it?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think about it.
These people, like, they
I
have
don't have
time.
anybody trying to mess up my check. I'm not trying to mess up anybody's check. But it's a very natural thing, you know what I mean? I don't think people wake up one day and decide, you know what, I'm gonna start beef with Naeto. You know what I mean? Like I'm Kool Out. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
Gonna start beef with Naeto and we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It comes from another place, you know what I mean? Not liking each other is it's normal. People go through that experience, you know what I mean? But it sometimes does result in them applying it in their work, you know what I mean? When Coca-Cola doesn't like Pepsi, it shows, you know what I mean? But they're both competing for the same thing and they both want the same thing, and so one has to win, you know? And so I think there's no way of saying it's healthy, there's no way of saying it's unhealthy, there's no way of saying it shouldn't happen. It's something that just happens. Anyone who's involved in it is involved in it because it just happens, you know what I'm saying? They get caught up in it, you know? But you're right, it does result in good marketing because, you know, people want to see, you know, okay, what's happening in this corner, okay, what's happening in this corner.
You probably like read a lot of books.
No, I don't actually.
You don't read, okay, like
I'm more interested in reading a lot of articles.
articles.
Yeah, I read a lot about the news. I read more about the news. I find books are cool. I just don't have the patience to imagine through a book. You know, I've listened to so much music in my life, so imagining through a book is just, I don't have the patience unless I'm going to find out something. If, you know, research purposes, that's what I do. Reading about, if I want to read about how the stars work, then I'll go because I'm learning something. I've pretty much gotten used to reading about learning things, or finding out what's happening in Burkina Faso, or finding out what happened on Graceland, you know, or how did, you know, black people end up being so many and being so poor, things like that. That's the things that I read about. But yeah, that's
like,
how
okay, so
occasionally.
From those like things that you read about, like which one do you read, like a lot of encyclopedias? Which one was like your favorite?
It's definitely news. Like I said, it's
just
definitely
the news.
The news is that's what I read all the time. I never really, like, I'm not the type of person who gets given a book and so check this out, you'll find it interesting. I want to know about this, and then I go and find it, and then I read, and then I read, and then I read, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I know. And then I put it away. But other than that, all I'm reading about is the news, the newspapers.
Okay, and then what is the most heartbreaking thing right now that you're reading about in the news?
Jeez, everything that you're reading about in the news is heartbreaking.
And then, like,
everything you read about is heartbreaking, from the coup in Burkina Faso to the bridge on Graceland Drive to, you know, everything. It's sad. Unfortunately, that's the development of news actually lately, is that good news is actually spreads when there's bad news. News spreads when there's bad news. So if you're looking at a situation like, let's say Reazus Chris, actually the cover spread faster than the song. You know what I mean? Because even you haven't heard the song, but you saw the cover. And that's because the cover was bad news for someone. You know, they thought, oh yeah, here's some bad news for you. What do you think of this? You know what I mean? They just throw it at you. They don't explain. This is Reason's next album cover, when it's actually a song cover. But they're like, yo, this is his next cover. What do you think? And then people react, and they're like, yo, everybody's reacting to this. Let's have a conversation around it. So they have a conversation around the cover, they discuss the cover. And then you drop the song, and then they find out that it's actually good news. And then they scatter.
So like, okay, since you don't read books and stuff, which I thought that you did, like, okay,
well, let's not say I don't read books and
like,
stuff.
okay,
Let's
you don't
not
read
say-
as much books.
I don't read the kind of books you
But
want.
yeah, I thought you were like, yo.
At the rates that you think
were
I
like,
do.
yo,
But what
man,
would give you that impression?
Because you're deep.
I'm not, though.
But like, people think that you are deep.
I tell them bump the cheese up. I ain't cupping up like Bon Budiza. That's like so silly. So,
You think it's silly, but like, okay, so you don't consider yourself an underground rapper?
no,
Do you?
at all. No, well, no. I mean, you're here.
Okay.
This makes me quite commercial. Makes me quite a commercial entity. I doubt that if I was an underground artist, you would have interviewed me, because then you wouldn't have any as many views as you want or the views that you want. So, no, I'm not. I think the word you're looking for is conscious, but even then, I don't know if I am. You know, sometimes I feel like I find he's conscious, and I know that sounds funny, but like, it is conscious. Like he's quite conscious. He's got a song about his grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And that's quite deep. But because I find we'll probably never think that it's conscious. We'll just think because he's so light-hearted and he's so chilled, we won't actually look into it. But it's actually quite a conscious record. Or a song like you know. I'm trying to think. I hope you bought it. You know what I mean? Someone can listen to a song like that and just think, because it's that type of an artist, you won't look at it into that light. But you know, there's a lot of Sondela for me is quite a conscious song. You know what I mean? When I'm listening to Ricky rapping, I'm like, yo, this guy actually wrote a song about his girl. You know what I mean? To his girl, and shot a video for it, and he's promoting it, and this, that, and the third. So we do all have a lot of consciousness in us. It's just we are commercial. We really are commercial. We're trying to get these cars, get these bottles, get these clothes, you know, afford these 450 OK London Cool Cat caps, and live this life.
I run this town now.
So it's first 7 years of my life in my grandmother's house, and then it was the rest of my life, at least up until 18, in Gawd home. And then after 18, I moved out, and I was on the streets grinding.
So while you were on the streets, like, weren't you like scared? Like, what was your scariest moment? Like, just be like, when you were.
Never.
You were scared.
I was never scared. I ain't never scared, man. What you talking about? No Reazus Chris. God body almighty all day.
Shame.
I guess I was scared of failing, man. You know, when you leave home on your own journey to say that you're gonna go and achieve certain things, and the biggest thing, biggest problem is becoming a prodigal son that goes and fails and comes back with failure, and now everybody has to start from a minus. I think the biggest fear is failing. You know, telling people that I want to be this, I want to do this, this is what I want to go, this is the direction, this is the life I want to live, and then you fail. I think failure is the biggest.
You ever been tested like with your morals?
Every day.
In terms of your morals and things like that?
Every day. Every day. Every day. I think all human beings go through that every day. You know what I mean? I think your morals get tested every day, whether it's giving the kid at the corner 5 rand or 10 rand. You know, your morals are being tested in that situation. You know, taking a picture with someone when you're having a bad day, when you read it or want to talk to nobody. You know, when you've just gone through a whole lot of stuff in your life and you just don't feel like it, and someone just really, really appreciates you at that time, and they want it at that time, your morals get tested, because you sometimes feel like, oh my family, not today, like right now, I ain't smiling for nobody. You know, I feel like punching you in the face too. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes you go through that, but you have to keep it together.
How do you keep it together?
I don't know. I still don't know how I've kept it together. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I really don't.
There's no rituals.
I think composure. You have to know yourself in this world, man. You have to know yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you're like. You have to know what keeps you moving. You have to know what everybody is there for. You know, if I'm having a bad day and you show up asking for a picture, it's not your fault that I'm having a bad day, but it is my fault that you want the picture. I've done something that makes you want to take this picture with me, and so I need to know myself in that moment, and I need to actually just put it away for like 5 seconds, take the picture and carry on and go into it. You know, your morals get tested in that way. You have to have like 2-5 seconds to just think about it and then just do something.
I run this town now.
Advise people to do if they want to get into this industry. What is that one thing that they should always know?
They must go and watch the Endurance documentary. It's on YouTube. If you watch the Endurance documentary, I think that would be great for you. It's the best way for you to
Okay, is that what's coming out from recently?
Well, the Endurance documentary is already out.
Yes.
It came out with the single Endurance with WHP. But that was pretty much the single that we were pushing before we go into the deluxe. But the documentary really speaks to everybody on the come up, everybody on the rise, everybody who's trying to get somewhere in this world. It just inspires people to actually just keep going and keep moving.
Right. That feels great.
Yeah.
Alright then. Well, thanks so much for chilling with me. I actually learned a lot from you. Thanks.
That sounded like you were not expecting to learn shit from you.
No, I learned.
I actually learned a lot from you. Thank you. Like,
No, like I actually learned about you as a person, not
Right.
not like it's Reason.
Do you think I'm an asshole? Don't you think I'm an
No,
asshole?
I think you're a nice guy.
Aww.
Yeah. So.
Buy my music. Bump the Cheese Up is out. Forget that. The Realist is out. Brand new is out. Yo, go get it. Yippee-ki-yay is coming. AKA is on the record. Kubi China's on the record.
That's what's up. Naeto World.